Hello, I'm Vicky Parfano from Aussie Stampers and Vicky Parfano Studio, and I have a new technique today, and I'm really excited by what I found with this technique just using Distress Oxide inks on glossy photo paper. And I have some really interesting backgrounds that I've created really quickly, and I want to show you the different techniques that you can try yourself. Now I'm using Epson photo paper. I just got this with my home printer, so it was free, and I'm using Shaded Lilac and Wilted Violet Distress Oxide inks, and I'm using them on the shiny side of the paper. Now if I go in with my Shaded Lilac direct to the paper and then my Wilted Violet, I'll show you what happens. So this is without any water on it at all. I'm not using my water sprayer on it. It's just ink on photo paper. Now I'll bring in my blender and pounce on it, and you can see nothing happens. This ink is now permanent. So if you want to stamp a permanent sentiment or image on your paper, it'll work perfectly. But what I want to show you is what you can do to create backgrounds on this same piece of paper. So I'm bringing in the Shaded Lilac and now the Wilted Violet, and just smushing them onto my craft mat. And this time I'm going to use the water and show you how the water will react with the glossy photo paper. Now I've done a lot of techniques with Distress Oxides on regular paper, on glossy cardstock. This is completely different. So let's have a look and see how it goes. So I'm taking that original piece, I'm smushing it in, dabbing it around, and I'm going to spray it on the paper first and now take it to the ink, and it picks it up really easily, which you would expect it to. So I'm just going to make sure I get plenty of coverage on that, and that's a really nice background as it is. You can see how shiny it is. The shine really brings it to life. Now I have plenty of ink left there and I don't like to waste ink, so I'm bringing in another piece of glossy cardstock. This time I haven't sprayed it with water, it's just completely dry piece. But because there's water in the ink, it is transferring onto the glossy photo paper. And you can just smoosh it around till you get a good coverage. And the effect of this is really, really pretty. It brings out the pinks in these stamp pads, and the violets tend to recede or come to the front if you've stamped them first. Now you can see I have some marbling effect and I have some spots on that. I'm going to bring in my heat tool and dry it off and show you what it looks like when it's dry. Really pretty, really gorgeous. Now I'm bringing in a paper towel. I'm not really taking anything off it. I'm just cleaning up the edges that were just a little bit sticky. Now, one cautionary word: when you bring in your heat tool, you don't want to bring your heat tool in too fast, because it's very similar to heat setting vellum, that you can burn it because there's plastic in it. So just be aware that you don't want to bring the heat tool too close or too long. Now I have this next technique, and this one has to be my absolute favorite. Wait till you see this one. It is just amazing. So I'm going to start off by spritzing the glossy side of the paper and giving it a pretty good spray, and bringing in the Wilted Violet direct to paper and giving 3 impressions. And now the Shaded Lilac, going back the other way, and I'm going to now show you what happens. This is really magic. I love it. So I'm going to bring in a tool, a felt tool, not a felt tool, sorry, a foam tool, and I'm going to pounce all over that, and you can see it's starting to build up some color with this pouncing. You still get the image that's left of the squares left by the stamp pad, but it's building up to a really pretty background. Now this is just the first layer. Wait until we get more on this. So I'm bringing in the Shaded Lilac, and because there's a little bit of pouncing on there and a little bit of ink that's been spread around, now the Wilted Violet, you can see I'm making the most gorgeous background. It is divine. A little bit more of the Shaded Lilac, and then I'm going to pounce with that blending tool. This is the one with the foam that I'm using. I'm just going to pounce around there and finish it off so that it looks like the most stunning background possible. I love this. This is one of the favorite backgrounds I think I've ever made. 2 colors, photo paper, a little bit of water and a blending tool. It is sensational. Look at that. How easy is that? It looks like it's really something that has been done and you've spent hours of work on, but it's not. I love this technique. This Distress Oxide ink on photo paper technique with the glossy photo paper is fabulous. And the way to make it work is to add your water in a spritzer bottle. Pretty simple. Now I'm going to just clean up. And to do that, I'm just using a paper towel. And I'm going to give you some close-up photos of what these papers look like when they've completely dried. So let's have a look at how pretty they are. I've taken some shots to show you close-up what they really look like. Aren't they just divine? You can see there's almost a hot pink shade to all of them, except for that last one. This one has a lot of hot pink, but the next one is that beautiful purples coming out. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.